Yo, what's up, my fellow pimps, plays, and hustlers? Welcome back. Today, being the 5th anniversary of me being in Hustlers University 2.0, I want to cover the 5 biggest lessons that I learned from being in Hustlers University 2.0. For those of you that are new to the channel and don't know me, my name is Daniel Neef. Everyone in Hustlers University calls me Chief Neef. I'm one of the copywriting apprentices. I've been in there for 5 months, as I said earlier, and I've made over $30,000 in the past few months that I've been in there, learning the skill of copywriting. So let's dive into the 5 biggest lessons that I got from being in Hustlers University 2.0. Lesson number 1, the hidden power of having a fucking ego, right? A lot of people in society tell you that having an ego is a bad thing and that you should just stay away from having an ego, like don't have one, it's bad. I completely disagree with that. And that's something I learned from Andrew Tate was understanding that having an ego and telling clients that, like, for example, if I tell a client that, like, I'm going to do really crazy for your brand, or I'm going to make this crazy sales page, or I'm going to crush it with your emails, or I'm going to make you like $30,000, whatever I tell them, the fact that I told them that I'm going to do that thing, because I have an ego, now I have to actually do it. Because a lot of times what happens is, and a lot of people will experience this when they first close one of their first clients, they talk all this shit, right? And then the next day they fucking panic because they're like, oh shit, I have to actually deliver now on the thing that I talked about. And that can be really scary at first, right? Because you're like, well, shit, like, I have to deliver. But because you have an ego, you actually do want to deliver because you don't want to look bad and you don't want to look like an idiot and you want to continue crushing it. So what happens is, here you are, like, here's you and like where you are in life, and then here's reality. And by having the ego, you talk all the shit, so that now you have to actually close the gap between where you actually are and reality. But if you didn't have that ego, you wouldn't try to fill the gap between you and reality. So the ego pushes you. It drives you to really, really crush it and really, really do your best in every single thing you do because you want to look good. You want to crush it. You want to do amazing, right? That's the number one thing I learned. Lesson number 2, understanding that everything that you have been told is a lie, right? You're tapped into the matrix. So everything that you're learning is typically not even true. A lot of things that I learned in Hustlers University completely shattered every belief that I had. One of the biggest ones being that you need to have these random breaks throughout the day to watch TV or go on your phone or go on social media or watch YouTube. That shit is fucking BS. You do not need these breaks that you think you actually need. Sure, I do believe that you should, have a few breaks to decompress, right? To go on a walk or, go hiking or whatever you want to do. But I don't believe that you need to go and like mess around your phone or go on social media to like regain energy, right? That's BS. I actually found that when I cut out a lot of the useless shit like TV and social media and YouTube and stuff like that during the day, I had way more energy. Like, I feel energized all the time now. I just feel it coming from within me. Like, I understood that energy is important. And so I realized that all these lies are being fed to you throughout your life. There's different beliefs that you have about like money, about, what it takes to be successful, all these different things that you learn from society around you that's infecting your mind. Being around successful people and successful mentors, they help to get rid of those negative thoughts and those doubts that you have in your mind that are clouding your judgment. A lot of times, society is placing different ideas and different things in your head that aren't even true, and those infect your mind and make you doubt yourself and make you have anxiety, etc. So when you have these mentors around that are pushing you and filling your mind with new beliefs, it starts to shatter everything you know about reality. And then when you actually when you see life for what it really is, then you start to actually really, really crush it in life. Number 3, the power of real consistency. One of the biggest things I see with people all the time is they want to sprint and just do a lot of work right up front, and then they just fall off the face of the earth. They're trying to run sprints instead of running a marathon. And I did this for a long time. I did this for years where I would have a new idea, a new business model. Maybe it was drop shipping or Amazon FBA or Facebook ads or, copywriting or marketing or whatever it was. I would learn some business model. I would get super excited about it. And then I would do it for like a week or two or maybe like a month. And I would just lose energy and fall off. I'd lose motivation. And what happens is you're not going to be motivated after a certain point. After that, after a certain point, you're going to lose a lot of your energy to do it because the reality of the situation is going to come to fruition. You had all these biases and expectations about what you thought success was or what you thought that these business models were going to be. You thought they're going to be easy because everyone sold you this magic pill. And when you actually see it for what it is, you're like, oh shit, this kind of sucks. But the more you start to stick with it and you work on consistency, the better you become at that skill, the more proficient you become, and the easier it becomes. So, for example, when I started copywriting 5-6 months ago, it wasn't the easiest thing, right? I had to learn the skill. And there was some dude that commented the other day that looked like an idiotic comment. He was like, "Oh, you only made like $12,000 in your first 90 days? Oh, that's only $5,000 the first month and $3,000 the next month." I'm like, dude, do you not realize that like it takes time to learn a skill? But it's just like it opened my mind to the reality that most people don't understand that there's no magic pill. You're not just gonna like come into some community and make $5 grand off the bat. Like the fact I did that was kind of crazy, and the fact that he thought that you could just like that's not even good. Like what? So it shows you that like consistency is king. You need to come in and be willing to work. Once I've worked on that skill, boom, the compound effect happens. The power of compounding and compounding skills and doing work every single day, even if it's just a little bit, is going to lead to crazy momentum and crazy action. Now, when this month closes out, I'm gonna finish with like $14,000 or $15,000 for 1 month of work. One client alone is gonna pay me $8,000. So it just goes to show you the effect of taking action every day and not getting discouraged and seeing what that will turn into. The fourth biggest lesson that I learned at Hustlers University 2.0 was understanding the power of persuasion and understanding the power of sales. Everything in life comes down to persuasion and sales. Everything, even little things, whether you're communicating with your girlfriend about like some movie you want to watch, or you're communicating with your friends about why you should go to this dinner place versus another dinner place, or whether you're talking to a client about future projects and things you want to work on. It doesn't matter. That everything in life comes down to the idea that there's persuasion. You must be good at persuading people. And that's what I really, really learned in Hustlers University 2.0 is a lot of the professors are really, really good at persuading people to do things. They're really good at convincing you of specific ideas. And at first you can be really resistant because you're like, well, are they trying to convince me of something that's not good? But I trust them and I trust that they have good intentions. And a lot of times it leads me down the right road. So understanding the underlying nature of humans and how humans actually work helps you to become really, really good at persuasion. And that's something you can learn when you're in Hustlers University 2.0. Now, before I go on to the fifth point, if you're not in Hustlers University 2.0, click the link in the description. I have a story sharing how I made over $12,000 in the first 90 days of being Hustlers University, how it completely transformed my life and everything that I learned within it. It's definitely a legit community. There's a lot of amazing professors, millionaire professors who teach you how to become successful. They teach you skills like copywriting, freelance, stocks, crypto, e-commerce, like literally everything. They're like the best of the best in there. So being surrounded by these people is going to help you to level up in life. So if you're not where you want to be in life, you need to get into Hustlers University 2.0. Lesson number 5. Look, the biggest thing that you can do is to stop thinking. Stop theorizing. Stop trying to think about the best thing to do and to just take action. It goes back to what I just said a second ago. It's understanding that you're listening to professors who are way more successful than you. So why would you not just listen to everything that they say and just execute immediately? The problem that I had and a problem that a lot of people have is we think that, or we believe that we should think about everything and we should think and theorize and X, Y, Z. But Andrew Tate made this point that I thought was really, really good. And it's that if your thinking was actually good, you would be rich by now. But the fact that you're not tells me that your thinking is broke. You have broke thinking, like you're a broke boy. So your thinking has not led you to where you want to go to. So you need to stop thinking. You need to just start taking action on the things that the mentors tell you to do because they have already done what you want to do. They're already successful. They're where you want to be. So the more you try to think and theorize, like the more it's going to hold you back, right? I see people in Hustlers University all the time who come to me and they're like, oh, I think this thing, or I think that thing. And I'll like tell them the answer. And they're like, yeah, but I'm like, bro, I know what I'm talking about. I'm where you want to be. Why are you questioning it? You don't know what you're talking about. You don't have the experience and the skills to back up those thoughts. All you're doing is holding yourself back. You need to stop thinking. Like, just unplug your brain and just commit to taking action for the next 90 days. I promise, if you take action for the next 90 days within Hustlers University, you will come out a completely different person. Everyone that I know that's been in Hustlers University for 90 days that I speak with on a daily basis has completely transformed their life. Some of them are making a lot of money. Some of them haven't made any money yet, but they learned really, really valuable skills. And the ones that haven't made money, a lot of them are people that are foreign. They're in other countries. They had to learn how to write copy in a way that makes sense to English people. So they were bridging the gap. But now a lot of them are actually really, really, really good fucking writers. I'm talking like, there's copywriters that I know that have been writing for 2-3 years that are nowhere compared to the people that are writing in Hustlers University for 90 days. So just quit thinking and just start taking action. And this is your call right now, right? Your call right now is to click the link in the description, buy fucking Hustlers University 2.0, get inside and take action. The more you start to like think and theorize and question, etc., it's $49. Just click the button and take action. I promise it will completely transform your life. All right. So those are my 5 biggest lessons that I learned from Hustlers University 2.0. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. I'll be glad to answer them. And I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.